So we're leaving Lusaka now from our first trip to Zambia, where we've run a 3-day workshop on ICT. It's been really just doing some overtaking now. It's been really a great experience. Got to go see the city last night, and the development in the city is really encouraging. There's buildings popping up all over the place, some big malls, quite a vibrant Friday night nightlife. Drove past a dude lying in a ditch. That was cool. Not really. He was lying in the ditch though. He was like face down. All these people crowded around him. I was like, that guy's dead. And my hosts were like, nah, he's just sleeping. He's just drunk. So, the workshop was amazing. Got to work with a whole bunch of different radio stations from all around Zambia. Radio Limbai, Breeze FM, Zambezi FM, Explorers FM, Kushi FM. That's not all of them. And got to work with some of their bright young stars and their radio stations. I think what really spoke to me the most was that these people were just so receptive, so authentic in their desire to learn and participate, so appreciative of the input. It's so different from South Africa, where you've just got this, I don't know, it's almost like this territorialism, if that's even a word. I don't even know if that is a word. It's like people are very territorial in South Africa, and so I think really good ideas and collaboration is something that it's hard to come by. People are always giving each other the once over, and there's all these, people have ulterior motives, and so they almost seem to project that onto everyone else. So it was really nice to just be in a workshop situation with, sort of 15 or 16 people who were all just keen to learn, keen to share. You got 7 radio. Even locally in South Africa, you'll go to a radio conference with 7 or 8 different radio stations, and every radio station will sit in their groups and kind of huddle together, and there's no mingling, there's no relational sort of connection. Whereas here, we were all just kind of working together. We had our sleeves up, and what was initially supposed to be sort of a very heavy presentation training workshop ended up being a very practical time, where we looked at the sort of unique problems in each station, because you had this huge range of stations, from like really the absolute like sort of base level rural radio station to some really there's the Livingston station, Zambezi FM, that these guys were really on it. They could hold their own locally without doubt, and so you had this massive scope, and how do you kind of create an average training session that will speak to all of them? You can't. So on day one, we just looked at a few basic principles, but then we actually started to get into rolling up our sleeves and getting in front of the computers and creating content for each of the stations uniquely, and helping them use collaborative documents using Google. We really tapped into Google's suite of products, which was amazing. Just using the Google products, it just makes life so easy. But I'd have to say, at the end of the day, that in conclusion, in wrapping up, that these people are completely capable, from even the rural areas. My whole thing for this training program wasn't to hold back on the quality or the nature of the work. I wanted it to be the hard stuff. And I treated them as if though they were capable of doing it. There was never this doubt that, this stuff is a little bit advanced, you're going to battle, let me explain it slowly. We jumped right in, we put the challenges in front of them, and they responded and pulled it off. The biggest frustration was that there just wasn't a fast enough and consistent enough data connection. You know, we're having a training course on taking these radio stations into a digital future, and the fuel that runs digital is data, and we didn't have that. So I look at this country and I wonder how much it is like this in other African countries as well, and I look at these people and I go, these guys are completely capable of getting in front of computers and apps and getting into the digital space, and completely capable of navigating in those spaces, but there's no data. There's no data, and the data's slow, and things that should take 5 minutes take 2 hours, and I think that really is the be-all and end-all of it. It's like the first foundation that needs to be built in this place is powerful data infrastructure. Whether it's done by wireless or laying cables, I don't know how, but it's definitely something that I want to explore further, because I know, having experienced this workshop, that a pulse of data, you see these kids that we're driving past now, see them there, over there, and those kids there, see them, those lives can be changed. Take them 1 year of access to powerful resources, their lives will change. Their potential will be realized. What should take someone 4 or 5 years to learn, with the right trainers and the right access to powerful data, their lives will turn around. Their countries will turn around. Their productivity will go through the roof. So I guess that's my summation of the whole thing, and I really can't wait to get back. It was the highlight of my year. The absolute highlight of my year. So thank you, United Nations. Thank you, Panos. I'm probably, just in a final thought, really interested in looking at setting up wireless networks that carry certain specific content. You know, get the wireless networks up before the advertising hounds do. Make sure that the heartbeat and the motive of those wireless networks is right, and then build content networks off those wireless networks that really, the network has to replicate the flavor of the community. The content's got to be right. So a marketplace wireless, schooling wireless, all these wireless networks that have content on them, and to access the wireless, you access the content, and the content formulates the filter through which you're accessing the data. I think that's a really great way of helping to focus the power of it. So that would definitely be another discussion that I want to have, and I hope that we can find the right partners, you know, who would want to fund something like that, because I think it would be phenomenal. So yeah, here we go. Last look at the Zambian landscape.